Hello and welcome back to Channel 99 BCTV. I'm your host, Bethany Gelati. Who are you?
I'm in this class. I'm the other host, Quentin Rook.
Really? I've never, seen you.
Yep.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I do a segment and everything.
Oh, well, whatever you say, I guess. On the international scale, there is new evidence popping up concerning pilot Amelia Earhart, the woman at the center of the thrilling mystery surrounding her death and her plane's disappearance in 1937. Well, 3 years later, the skeletal remains of what researchers at the time ruled male were found and soon forgotten. Flash forward to modern day, the arms of the skeleton turned out to be longer than the average person's, just like who, buddy? Amelia Earhart. Just like Amelia Earhart. They're not totally sure it means anything, but it's pretty coincidental, you know what I mean?
In national news, police arrested a suspect for the 2 police officer shootings in Iowa. After a several-hour-long manhunt, the suspect is Scott Michael Green, age 46. Police have yet to find out what his motive is, and according to a police investigation, they may never find out.
This week was our junior class election. Students put together speeches and delivered them yesterday in front of their peers and opponents. Positions up for grabs included president, vice president, treasurer, just name a few, with wins going to Mark Abdel-Malik for president, Naomi Caldron for high school vice president, Brandon Bolish for Career Center vice president, Drew Gemmel for STEM VP, and then Stephanie Edney for secretary, and finally, Brett Gemmel for treasurer. The responsibilities of representing the class of 2018 comes with the titles, so congratulations and good luck. Oh, also, we have this classmate, his name is Mark Sangarima, and for some reason, after this, we decided to still trust him with our show intro, some of the segment backgrounds and logos. He had a little too much fun this Halloween, so take a look.
Okay, wait a minute. Wave at me. Wave at me. Dark, wave at me. Okay. This is gold. This is gold right now. I
If you couldn't get enough of that, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, or the comments of this YouTube video, and he just might make a comeback, provoking students and teachers around our school for the Christmas season.
The people of Philadelphia are experiencing some serious inconveniences because of the recent strike by public transit workers. The local transit union 234 walked out after contract disputes, and now people who rely on the bus system are left frustrated and unable to get to work and school and just generally travel around the city. The city is hoping to have the problem solved by Election Day, so to make sure that no one in the Philly area is left out of participation in such a crucial event.
We'll be right back with segments like Tubular and 4 Gamers Only and 30-second randomness.
That's my segment. I'm on this show.
Huh?
This, for Gamers Only, is my segment. You know what? Never mind.
Okay, well, stay.
$2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to getschool.com for more info.
I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism.
Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism.
Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Random 30 Seconds. Today's topic is about our favorite energizing drink, Gatorade. Did you know that Gatorade was formulated to help University of Florida's football team as a replacement for their lost energy? The nickname of the team was Gators, hence the drink got its name as Gatorade. In 1965, Gatorade was developed on a request from the coach of the football team who wanted a drink that would help their players deal with the heat-related issues during the game. The main aim of the drink was to replenish the lost carbohydrates and electrolytes in the body. Well, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and join me next week for another Random 30 Seconds. And stay tuned for Tubular up next.
Hello to all our fellow YouTubers. Today we'll be talking about Graveyard Girl. Her real name is Rachel Mayer, but her fans know her as Bunny. She was born on August 3rd, 1985 in Houston, Texas, and is 31 years old.
She started her channel in 2010 as a paranormal video blogger. She then transformed her channel into a go-to fashion and beauty guru center, but with a quite comedic twist.
She is most known for her series called Does This Thing Really Work?, where she tests out the newest as seen on TV and internet-raved products. Her channel has gained over 7 million subscribers.
She also has some other series like Outfit of the Day, Follow Me Around, and Get Ready With Me. Her boyfriend, who all her fans know as Dog Man, has appeared in many of her videos. She also has her own makeup palette that is sold at Sephora and Ultra.
That's all for today. See you guys on the next episode of Tubular.
Hello and welcome to 4 Gamers Only, the show where I talk about certain things about video games. Well, as there is nearly a month left until the release date of Final Fantasy 15, fans of the Final Fantasy series don't have to wait until it comes out to get their Final Fantasy fix. A few days ago, Square Enix released World of Final Fantasy, a kid-friendly JRPG that is a grand celebration of the series' long legacy. The gameplay is very reminiscent of the classic Final Fantasy games, allowing veteran players to adapt very quickly. One of the major selling points of World of Final Fantasy is that many characters from previous Final Fantasy games make appearances in this game as little chibi versions of themselves. World of Final Fantasy actually released a few days ago on October 24th. While I don't know how specifically good it's selling, due to the game not being a week old yet, it has been receiving good reviews. That's it for this week's edition of 4 Gamers Only. Tune in next time where I talk about Fate/Extelia. Until next time.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Channel 99 News Sports. Today I'm with my colleagues Ryan and Jason, and we will be having a roundtable discussion about the latest sports news. So Jason, what about the World Series?
Well, I think this has been a great World Series to watch. 4-3 series victory. Chicago Cubs coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the series, the third team in MLB history to do so, and they put up a great battle. They never gave up, so they did pretty good. And with that amazing win last night, the 8-7 win in the bottom of the 10th inning, they held the Cleveland Indians. Ben Zobrist with the MVP got the 2 RBI double down the line to help them out, you know. So he's the first World Series MVP player that the Cubs have ever had. So I thought it was pretty cool. And I want to talk about Theo Epstein. He took the Boston Red Sox to the World Series, who had the second longest drought in MLB history. Then he goes over to the Cubs, and he has taken them to the World Series to end their drought of the World Series. So I thought it was pretty good to watch.
I agree. And the Chicago Cubs finally won something after the Titanic was built.
Yeah.
So that's a great moment. So, and Cleveland, karma got you this time.
Yeah.
So shout out to Golden State. So Ryan, NFL MVP, what are your predictions for the midpoint?
Not many people would agree with me, but I'd go with Tom Brady after missing the first 4 games.
he's played the best football that a quarterback could play the last 4 games, having 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. He may not be up there in the stats with some of the quarterbacks right now, but as the season continues, I think he'll pass many.
I agree. My surprise MVP is, a lot of people would not probably agree with me, but it's Derek Carr from the Oakland Raiders.
That's a good pick.
Oakland's been unbelievable so far. They were one of my sleeper teams before the season started, along with Jacksonville. Jacksonville, improve, please. But it's great to see Oakland back in contention because they have not been back in contention for a real long time. They finally have their franchise quarterback. They have a receiver. They have one of the best linebackers in the game, Khalil Mack. So it's great to see that to happen. And they're in one of the toughest divisions in football, so it's going to be a great, great year.
Yeah, it seems like every single year they say next year will be our year. It seems like it could finally be here for them this year.
I agree. So, Jason, what is your MVP at the midpoint?
Well, 110% I agree with you with Derek Carr because he's just been phenomenal this season. What can I tell you? I mean, 513 yards last week. I mean, what other quarterback does that these days? You know what I'm saying? But I totally agree with you. He has great weapons. Like, just great team in general. And they're 6-2, tied with the Broncos. I feel like they will top the Broncos towards the end of the season.
I agree. Also, watch out for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. They're 5-3, only a game back in that division.
Yeah, true.
So, Ryan, Rookie of the Year so far at the midpoint, who do you think?
There's so many picks, but I'd have to go with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, that offensive line and him, it's almost untouchable. And the Dallas Cowboys having a great season under 2 rookies, a rookie running back and a quarterback, both in contention for Rookie of the Year.
I agree. I'm not saying this because I'm an Eagles fan. Oh, wait a minute, I am. But Offensive Rookie of the Year, well, Rookie of the Year to me is Carson Wentz.
Right, that's a good pick.
Carson Wentz. Cleveland, thank you again for that. And Teddy Bridgewater, I'm sorry you got injured and you kind of played a part in Carson Wentz getting the start. I'm just very happy to see my team, the Eagles, back in contention.
Right.
We're tied for second place in the NFC East with the New York Giants, and Washington's only a half a game back due to that draw. And we're knocking on the door to the NFC North, to the Steelers division, saying, hey, we want our title back as the toughest division in football. And here's a little fun fact for you guys. In the NFC East, there has not been a repeat winner since the 2003-2004 Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
So are we going to keep the trend going? Probably with new champions this year. So it's been great to see that.
I think for the Eagles, they do have a great rookie quarterback. They're wide, just need to learn how to catch the ball.
I agree, and stop getting into trouble.
Right, way too many drops in the past weeks. They need to fix that.
I agree with that. So, Jason, Rookie of the Year so far in the midpoint?
I want to go with Dak Prescott. And I just think he's been really good, keeping himself together. He has a great running back behind him who's also a great rookie, as you said. Right.
And he's taking this team right now to 7-1, and I feel like he's going to take this team all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't think Super Bowl. Are they going to make the playoffs? Yes. When Romo comes back, I think they should play Prescott.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very happy. How did that kid fall to the 4th round? I don't know.
Right, and once Romo does come back, I think they should play Prescott, but I feel like they won't. So where does that leave Prescott at the end of the season if he doesn't get the start for the rest?
Right.
Does he stay? Who knows?
Right, because I'm sure Cleveland would love to have him at quarterback.
Yes, teams like that, yeah.
So, and now we're going to get into the college football playoff rankings. So, Ryan, the first playoff rankings were unveiled Tuesday. Who do you think are the 4 teams that should be in right now?
I think they have it right with the 4 teams they have. There's so many good teams this year, Michigan, Washington. Washington is one of those questionable teams. Pac-12, it's just a very questionable division in itself. So I think they have it right. With Michigan, I would put at number 1. I know many people say their schedule isn't that great against great teams, but I like Michigan.
My top 4 teams, I think, right now are Alabama, number 1, Clemson, 2, Michigan, 3, And I know they lost to Clemson, but Louisville should be number 4.
Great offense. Yeah.
And I did not like the excuse the chairman used when they picked Texas A&M over Washington.
Yeah.
They said Texas A&M played the tougher schedule so far. To me, if you lose to the number 1 team in the country in the same conference, you should be out of the playoff.
Right, and Washington, they have to keep the winning going. I feel like if they slip up even one game, that's going to bump them back in the rankings.
Right. And Jason, your top 4 teams who should be in the playoff.
Well, of course, it's always Alabama. Alabama number 1. I'd say Clemson number 2. I would say Michigan State is up there too. And Washington is a good team, but not good enough to be a playoff team. And the Nebraska Cornhuskers, they were up there, but then with that loss to Wisconsin kind of now ruined that for them.
Right, and like you said about Nebraska, that's what I was trying to make my point with Washington. You lose one game, you're going to fall back if you're a team like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
I agree. And also, Penn State back up in the rankings. How about that Cinderella story? Penn State could get a big-time bowl game again. What a recovery that college has made. Wow. Just wow. The new head coach from Vanderbilt they had, he's done amazing.
And they don't have Hagenberg anymore either, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anything else you guys want to talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, I want to talk about some big upsets that we've had this year with any type of sport. And probably one of the biggest upsets had to be Penn State against Ohio State, as that blocked field goal return for a touchdown really helped them out.
I agree. Ryan, biggest upset?
Biggest upset of the year in any sport?
Any sport.
Oh, wow, that's a big question. I wouldn't say an upset in a game, but I'd say kind of like upset-ish. I know that's not a word, but Carolina Panthers, they're not doing well this year. I think that's kind of like a surprise to many people, as they were in the Super Bowl last year with the MVP on their team. They're not looking too good this year.
I agree. My upset year, I know it was in 2014, 2015, and 2016, but Leicester City winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Leicester City, who just survived relegation, that amazing battle and Jamie Vardy, that Cinderella story from rags to riches. And there's talks about that guy getting a Hollywood film.
Right, yeah.
To me, that's one, as they said it many of times, one of the greatest upsets in soccer history and in sports history.
Right.
Because let's state this, when they opened the season, they were 5,000 to 1 odds. Just as the same odds as the Philadelphia Phillies winning the World Series. And they did it. So, and I know, like, all this fun stuff, like, with, like, $5 down on them. If you cashed out on Leicester City and if you stayed in it the whole year, you would have won $50,000 from Leicester City winning the Premier League, performing a greatest Cinderella story in sports history.
That was a great upset, yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, so thank you everyone for tuning in this week, and I have one more special announcement. We are bringing back 2 of our most popular segments next week, Cinema Spotlight and Kilobytes. So stay tuned next week for those 2 segments returning. From me, Ryan, and Jason, so long everyone. See you all next week.
Join me, Yvonne Weatherman, for this week's weather.
That your real name?
Stay tuned.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Weatherman, here with your weather man. Today's photo was taken by Mr. Pizer. The current conditions here at the Career Center are partly cloudy and 61 degrees with an 80% chance of precipitation. Today's high is 61 and the low is 48. Wind speeds are at 5 miles per hour and going north. The rest of the day will be rainy with a chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow morning will be mostly cloudy. Sunrise is set to be at 7:37 a.m. and sunset is set to be at 5:56. Here's a look at the rest of the week. Okay. Thursday is chance of thunderstorm, high 64. Friday will be partly cloudy, high 47. Saturday, partly cloudy, high 52. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 49. Monday is clear, high 49. Tuesday, partly cloudy, 54. Wednesday is a chance of rain and high 52. Today's weather fact is going to be about the moon. It's going to be a waxing crescent, meaning growing. And that is your Channel 99 weather forecast. Stay tuned for sports coming up and enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of BCTV. Be sure to check us out on social media on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
So do you know who I am now, like my name?
Is it like Quincy quintuplets quilpens? maybe?
Quentin Rook.
And I'm Bethany Gelati. So have a great weekend. Tune in next time.